still a Friday. So happy Friday still. And welcome to my channel filled with all the things. I'm Dutchie, and this is Querkling. I'm gonna finish it up. And by finish, really start it because I've obviously not accomplished much. But had good chats this morning. Back for round 2, maybe 3. We'll see where it goes. I'm also making red velvet cupcakes. Super exciting. So I have a batch in there, and then I have like another batch left to make. So hang out with me, vibe with me, chat with me. Please like and subscribe. Be a good human. Always, come on now. And of age, please. And thank you. Tell me about what you're doing this weekend. What are the plans? I feel like that's like a vague question, but I also feel like, sometimes you may really have plans that you want to talk about or you're excited about. I think it's going to be a rainy weekend, so I'm not like really like, oh yeah, there's plans. But I'm gonna go with the flow. Rain does not mean you have to like become one with sadness or anything, It can be rejuvenating. I, of course, have already sampled the red velvet cupcakes. I was debating making cookies, cupcakes, but I went with cupcakes instead of just like a cake that has no end point where you end up eating like all of it because there's no cap. Hey, what up? No, the Care Bears is a puzzle. That'll change your perception of it, right? I did not. It's a puzzle. It kind of looks like a poster too, though. Alexa, how long is left on the timer? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, the Care Bears was fun. I started a puzzle adventure around here. I started doing a bunch of different puzzles after the Care Bears, so I was like, I do miss puzzles. I was just thinking, actually, like, I'm gonna do another puzzle soon, and I was thinking about putting a poll in. So it's interesting you asked, because I'm like, yeah, signs of to do another puzzle. So I decided to hang it up. It looks cool, I think. Kind of blends in with like the chaos. You're a tattoo artist in the house or in New York? In the house. That's cool. That's exciting. How long have you been doing tattoos for? I don't know. It's gonna be an icon. It's a surprise. It's actually like a coloring. Oh, like New York's in the house is what you're saying. I was like, wait, like, do you like do tattoos in the house in New York? But no, you're saying like New York in the house, like you're from New York. I'm like, what about the coffee? Get out of here. That's cool. I do have tattoos, but I'm not getting any new tattoos until I retouch up the old ones. I feel like that's kind of like not where people mess up, but it's either like people don't finish their stuff or they never go back and touch up like original stuff, and then they get newer stuff, and I feel like the newer stuff like outshines the old stuff, you know? I'm sure you see a lot of different stuff. What's the coolest tattoo you've done? And thank you. I have no idea who this is gonna be yet. It's like a surprise. I've done a couple other ones. This one. I always say this is like one of my favorites. That one's pretty cool too. Alright, let's go back. And most importantly, I have those cupcakes in the oven that I have to grab soon. What makes Friday even better? Red velvet cupcakes. I made some cream cheese frosting last week for my pumpkin bread that I made. And I need to finish using the cream cheese frosting so it doesn't go bad. So I made some cupcakes because the pumpkin bread is gone. The pumpkin bread did not stand a chance. I'm doing surprise coloring, so hopefully it blends in and it doesn't look ratchet. Airbrushing. That sounds exciting. Working on a canvas. I thought you were like talking about school. different spectrums. I'm like, wait, what? That's cool. Airbrushing is like a whole nother form of art. When you think of airbrushing, I just think of like beach merchandise. Yeah, I can imagine that would be very challenging though, like covering up like old pieces and making them into like a new piece, but you also don't want it to look like a blob unless they want a blob, you know? So, I can't imagine. I think it's like probably cool to have it like clients that are letting you like be creative in your own little world for them. Like they give you an idea. And I'm not talking about like super complicated where like they like give you an idea and then object to everything that you offer, but like you get to like really use people's body as like a canvas. And I'm sure the more time you put in is the like more techniques that you learn. How long you been riding bikes for? You're like, gotta get this message out. Yeah, I'm sure you see a lot of creative tattoos. I would never trash people's tattoos, but I'm sure even as like people are like getting wiser, not older, but wiser, they probably regret some tattoos. Honestly, the ones that I have are so meaningful to me that I don't regret any of them. Like still as I get wiser, I'm glad that I didn't like become impulsive like I wanted to at like 16, you know, but like I'm glad that that didn't happen. Although even what I wanted at like a younger age, I still think would be more tasteful. But as you get older, like Oh, I had to grab those cupcakes. As you get older, you're like, ugh. Like I see people that I know that regret it. Alexa, turn off timer. A bike club. Oh wow, that's interesting. So you're back into it. And she rides too? So you guys like ride together? That's cool. In New York? Let me grab my cupcakes. I'll be right back. With the helmet or no helmet? Alexa, set a timer for 18 minutes. All right. I made the red velvet cupcakes. And I ate one, and I was like, it definitely needs the cream cheese frosting on it. But then I was like creative, and I was like, wait, what if I throw white chocolate chips in there? I think it'd be even better. And I did that, and oh my gosh, I wish I did it to the other ones. Oh my gosh. Hey. So you're teaching her the rope, Nelson? She just started writing. Now, what up, April and Tom? Sorry, I was taking the cupcakes out, and then I had to put the last batch in because no batter goes to waste, y'all. So I like re-examined that, and I was like, okay. And I made the last few and put them in there. It sucks that I didn't have a whole tray full, but no batter goes to waste. So I'm super excited. Especially with the white chocolate chips. Life-changing. But it scared me for a second because that was the last batch that I did prior to the other one I just took out. Didn't have white chocolate chips, but this one did. And the white chocolate chips were like oozing out a little bit. And I was like, but it turned out great. Like the bottoms were starting to rip on a couple of them, but it doesn't matter. Go down the same chute, right? Drive 4 hours before dinner. Sorry, I was like super excited about the cupcakes. Like zoning back in. 4 hours before dinner. Are you driving 4 hours to get to a dinner? It better be a good dinner. What the heck? How's your day, April? Thanks for coming in. Taurus sister to another one. That's cool, Nelson. Teach her the proper ropes. That's awesome. My dad was a biker. I am not. I just don't do well on bikes. There's another person that comes in here that rides bikes too. I'm pretty sure they have a Harley. I do have some need for speed, but I'd rather be in like a sports car. People don't care about like people in cars, nevertheless, unfortunately, motorcycles, and they drive bananas. But I imagine like you getting used to riding and then really enjoying like the wind in your hair. And the need for speed. That's cool that you both like she got into it and you got back into it. It's like a little father-daughter bonding experience. That's insane, Tommy. Tommy Pickles. Hope it's a good dinner. Yeah. The apple doesn't really fall far from the tree. Oh, that's cool. I like the fish too. Tom likes the fish as well. Tommy Pickles is a fisherman. That's awesome. So you have that bonding with your daughter, and then like you have that with your son. Does your son do the piercings and tattoos as well? Do you have tattoos being an artist, or no? I feel like some artists don't have any, or have just a couple, or a shit ton. Yeah, I don't want to like scare you with her writing, you know, like You just have to, like, I think the best lesson I ever learned when I first started driving, because I don't ride, but when I first started driving, I remember the lady that was teaching me to drive. She just thought that I like knew how to drive without like being taught, and I was like, well, it's kind of like a go kart, right? But I remember she was like, you need to pretend that nobody knows how to drive. And that's been like the realest advice like ever, because the things that you see on the road are like, what are you on, like some of the driving things that I like experience, and we all have, like it's like crazy to think about. You have no idea what's going on in the other person's world inside of a vehicle or a motorcycle or whatever it is. So just be cautious, like in a car or a bike, but especially on a bike, because you don't have like, I don't know, protection like you would in a car. But a car doesn't always save people either. It's wild. He was like, I'm gonna sit this one out. That's all on y'all. That's hilarious. He doesn't ride either. That's funny. Your daughter is like a daddy's girl then. But at least if you've had experience riding, you could like shed the light on her, and like experience riding together, and like teach her like proper riding etiquette, so that way you feel safe when she's on the road, because you taught her things, instead of like knucklehead boys or women trying to have like ego to driving and riding. Well, at least your kids can like send people your way for tattoos. Do you eat freshwater fish or do you saltwater, or both? I'm getting it somewhere. Oh, this better not be Amy. Oh, wow. The Marines, too? Yes. Just tell her not to bring ego onto the bike, which can be hard, because it's like, especially being a woman, like, I feel like women have to, like, already put on this persona that they're tough. And even if they're, like, I feel like smaller women as well, like, feel like they have to put, like, on a front. I feel like all women, but, definitely riding, because I know like me, when I drove like sports cars and stuff, is definitely like an ego thing for sure. It can be fun and like just fun and light, but it's also an ego thing to make like boys cry. So tell her to like, yeah, take it easy for sure, and just to be cautious of like obviously her surroundings. Don't be creeping in the bushes though. Because then it's like you don't want her to go the opposite route because you're too worried of a father. Yeah, that is cool. Like she just goes with the flow. salmon season. That would be nice. That would be a fish that I would stock the freezer with. That's for sure. Catfish in though? I'm not really a fan of catfish. I definitely ate it like growing up, like being a hungry kid, but as an adult, I'm like, I have so many bones. So many bones. And plus, I always tell a story that I watched someone's hand blow up like a superhero because of a catfish barbing it. Stuck inside their hand, ripped it out, and like literally was like swelling in no time. It was insane. They kind of like grossed me out a little bit, but I can get why people catfish. There's a couple people that come in here that catfish fish. That's a tongue twister. Catfish fish. Did she get a Harley too? Fish fillets on steroids. Parents can be friends. I don't know. Yes and no. I'm also not a parent though. That's cool. I've only gotten into my cooking era like the last like I don't know handful of years. Like but definitely I appreciate cooking at home way more than I ever have. I really don't eat out like that anymore. Like very rarely have I eaten out the last several years. Like I can't even like really think about it. So I do enjoy like making homemade stuff or cooking dinner because it's like a different appreciation. I love me some Spanish food. Honestly, love me any type of food. Purple glitter. Wow, that's cool. We're talking about the bikes, right? That's awesome. That's amazing. Are you gonna airbrush her bike? You guys could do like a daughter father like YouTube. Oh my gosh! So you have 3 kids for sure. You have any more? Yeah, I saw Mary instead of men, but yeah, a lot of men don't cook, but there are men that can cook out there. I think it's important. And some men are just like great at cooking, and some are just like trash. But that could be like women too. Some women are very, very poor. Me 10 years ago, not a chance. Me now, I'm like at a like, okay, I've definitely like played around with recipes more. I think a lot of fear is like messing up or it tasting like shit, you know? So like you kind of like are like, I don't know. But as I like get wiser, not older, but wiser, I do appreciate like making like homemade stuff. Like instead of like having to buy everything in a bottle or a jar or like I don't know. And that's more like dressings and sauces that I'm thinking of currently, but I don't know, things way different when you're making it at home. Way different. And I don't really like fast food is such trash and like to spend that amount of money on trash when you could have like bought groceries and had like what you know is being put in the food for maybe even cheaper or have more of it than just one sitting of food that's trash, you know? I was like, wait, the R and the N switched. Glitter's cool if it's not like I don't know, I'm like a gothic Barbie, so I'm like glitter all day. But I do glitter could be like very like just a step away of not cool, you know? Anime's cool though. I'm not really an anime person. I'm not against it. I think it's like cool, but I don't want to read a bunch of subtitles and I don't understand it, obviously. Number one food is cheese. Because if that's a question, that's like, duh. Cheese is like everything. Yeah, you have to like go ahead and prep your son early on how to cook. It goes a long way. And impress the ladies, you know? Or men, whoever. Did you teach your daughter how to cook? I actually just made a jar of the Chick-fil-A sauce for like random things at home. I love the Chick-fil-A sauce, so good. But I have not had Chick-fil-A in years, believe it or not. Last time I had Chick-fil-A, it was back-to-back times that were bad. And I was like, what the heck? And this was like years ago. I went fishing like a month ago, and that was the first time I had fast food in literal years. And the only thing before the exit was Wendy's. There was Wendy's and McDonald's. Let me grab those cupcakes. Alexa, turn off the timers. There was Wendy's and McDonald's, so like I was like, oh, I really don't want to do McDonald's. Like, I don't know. I haven't had McDonald's in a very long time. And I was like, I don't really know about Wendy's. Well, I got Wendy's and it was like trash. The fries were okay, but I also like making like homemade fries. So it's like you come kind of like a brat when you start making your own stuff because you just know that it can taste better if you just like tweak some stuff or like get a recipe that you're used to and enjoy making, you know? Maddie! What up? Oh my gosh, hold on. No, I cut the ponytail off. Just kidding. What happened? Whoa. Hold on. What? Is this anything related to what we talked about last time? I think I talked to you one other time before that, but... What? Saturday, like all day? Like what happened? Give me the deets. And I gotta take those cupcakes out. So like write the deets and I'll come back and read them, but I gotta get the cupcake out. Let me read the last message and then grab that and I'll be right back. Your ear, I've been having an ear problem too. Weird. Are we connected? What happened? Oh. Shit. Okay. Yeah, learn to cook so you don't eat fast food all the time. That's so true. I mean, it does take work to cook these things, but it's way more rewarding. Hold on. What the heck? Let me catch up. What? What? What the heck? Is this on top of like other stuff? Did you ever go get a test for the other stuff? Like what? Oh my gosh, man. What? I gotta like I had to like Google it because I was like, hold on, let me make sure I'm like translating that right in my brain. Well, get the scan, but holy crap, so your ear was like hurting and then like what happened? Hold on. So your ear was hurting, you went to the ER because your ear was hurting, like, and then was anything else hurting? Um, you sound like you're going through a lot. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, more stuff is going on. So what, they did tests at the ER? I'm sure that was a fun visit. I hope you have good insurance with your job. Oh my god. What? Holy cow, you need like a whole sage on your life. Like you need to like, I don't know. I always say like, when I'm feeling like things are like really hitting the fan, that I have to like legitimately go in and like rewire the brain, because if you don't, like, I feel like things just like progress into more of a shit show because we like convince ourselves that everything is falling apart. And I mean, I can understand why you would feel that way. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand. Wild. You're not falling apart, man. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Right, because this happened. Oh my gosh. You said you went on Saturday? Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, that was still September. Wow, wild. So you went to urgent care and they're like, nah, man, you got to get out of here. You need something crazier. Like, so you already had antibiotic for the ear infection. So what? They went back into your ear, or like you already had like a rash or something. Oh my gosh. What? Because I had an ear infection literally like a few months ago, and my ear's been starting to do like weird stuff again. Like I tried like Debrox and stuff, and I got antibiotics from them when I went a few months ago, but they told me that I would have like gross drainage for like XYZ amount of time, but I was convinced they didn't give me enough antibiotic. And the fact that I'm like starting to feel it again, that's so fucking weird. Like, super weird. Side note on that, but I was like, oh my god, you're freaking me out. What? What shingles? Because like literally, like when I went to urgent care, they were like, yeah, you have like this new essential COVID essentially thing going around, like, and people were getting ear infections with it, and I was part of like the group of people coming in for the day that had an ear infection. I was like, wait, what? This is going around? It's like wild. Um, that's crazy. So what did the ER do for you? Tell me. Oh my god, because I was like just thinking, I was like, okay, well, it's like similar to like chickenpox. Oh my god. Wait, how did they know you needed a booster? They just told you that you were supposed to get an updated vaccine on it? Because I don't think I ever got an updated vaccine on that shit. Oh my god. So are you, oh my god, do you have like a rash like everywhere? How's your ear? So what happened with the ear? It was just because it was like a symptom of like the shingles? Oh my god, man. You poor thing. Like, I feel so bad for you. Oh man. Your poor wife too, like fucking probably worried about you, like with all this stuff going on. Holy smokes. I really hope you feel better. I hope this is like the end of it, like, and you know, like the new year coming before long. And you can put all this stuff behind you, but you need to get that scan too, so you can just like feel like a little bit better about things. Not that I think anyone wants to get like more information that you're not sure what will give you, but like maybe your mind needs some clarity, because your mind will take you to some wild places when things are going on. Well, I'm glad that you like listened to like yourself and went somewhere, even though urgent care sent you over to the ER. Yeah, what the heck? So they told you that yeah, and the popping's like weird as shit. Like, I had a pop a couple weeks ago that was so weird. Like, it was so weird. I don't know if you tried the Debrox stuff, but since you have other things going on with the shingle shit, I don't know if you should try the Debrox. But if you are having like an ear, did they give you any more like antibiotics or nothing? Nothing? I would be fucking pissed if I went to the ER and they literally didn't provide me anything though, besides like, here's some more bad news. Like, thanks, that's why the fuck I'm here. Oh my god. And they're like, that will be thousands of dollars. Have a great day. I'm glad you do have good insurance and that you are feeling like a little bit better, like, or a lot better, but still. And not being able to like entirely hear out of one ear is like the worst. You feel like it's almost like vertigo or something, you know? Like you're feeling like weak. Crazy. Were you itching from the shingles, or did you like the balance like from your ear, like you thought it was because your ear, like you should emerge and like go to urgent care again? Or were you having like a rash? That's crazy. I'm so sorry. I like can't say that enough. Like I hate those words too, because it like really doesn't like change anything, but oh my gosh. You really you need like major healing prayers. Holy cow. said your oldest son doesn't, he just eats. That's hilarious. So do you not have an ear infection? So urgent care was a waste of money and time, essentially. So you had already gone to urgent care before going again. Oh, nothing, staying the F away from urgent care. Holy cow, man. Wild. Yeah, anyway, no, not anyways. That's wild. That sounds like a lot to, like, really, like, suppress or feel like you have to deal with. Especially, like, not having answers and you're, like, going, like, to places for these answers that you're not getting. Like, how does that make you feel better? Like, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like you got answers? Like, you could do the virtual ear appointment? Yeah. I mean, I saw that when I went to urgent care too. But I also saw that if you had an ear, I think it probably depends on like the urgent cares you go to, but if you had an ear infection specifically, you would have to go in person. And I felt like mine was, so I was like, I don't even know how you would do that virtually. Got it. So then they gave you antibiotic through the virtual one, and then it didn't help. That's crazy. That's nuts. Oh my gosh. So what do you do now? You said you're feeling better though. That's important. That's good. I'm like, do you need to go to a shaman? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to make light and fun, but I know there's like not light and fun in that kind of situation. When you physically feel like shit, like especially like an ear head thing, like it's like you feel like you're dying. Like you honestly feel like you just don't even know yourself and your world and body is like rocked, essentially. Especially like anything head related, and all of this is like connected. Okay. All right. The past is behind you now. Hopefully you'll be feeling way better and not having to deal with it. Is the ear feeling better though? I like still have questions. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes when you just have to rest, like that's like the doctor's order, but really what your body is telling you, like, is your body saying like chill down, like chill and relax. And sometimes we don't do enough listening of that because of life, or other things are happening and because of life. And then the body's like, wait a minute, listen to me, punk. No, you could not even pay me to get that done. Like, quite literally. Everyone's doing it. It's so true. It's annoying. I've had both sides of my nose pierced for like 12 years, 11 years. And now everyone has it. And I almost just like want to rip it out of my face some days. Some days I don't even wear it anymore. Just like, eh. But I've just had it for so long that I would just like not want to go and get that re-pierced if I like was on a limb and wanted to feel like punk rock again. But I remember when I was 18, I got the one side done, and the guy asked me what side I wanted done, and I was like, I don't know, what side should I get done? He's like, you should get both of them done. I was like, I should. I didn't, and then I came back and got the other one done. I was like, yeah, punk rock. And then the septum was already like out there, but both sides of the nose wasn't yet. Now it's like every like hipster and like goth and not want to be goths like have them. It's wild. It's so punk rock. I'm a Taurus, the bull. I'm already Taurus, literal bull badass. I don't need a septum ring. Like, no thanks. I don't know. I'm not really a big piercing person. I'm just like, eh. I'm like, you have your septum? Did you go get your ear pierced after all the ear stuff? I think, a lot of people, like, I don't want to say all people, but I think a lot of people regret doing a lot of piercings, like, to their face. Like, my best friend and then my, like, best guy friend growing up, and they dated each other and stuff, they had, like, they were obsessed with, like, piercings, and they had the most wildest piercing. I remember at one point he had, like, this pierce. I don't even remember what it's called. The bridge. Not the bridge. It's, like, called something. It's so, I think it looks so stupid. Like, do whatever you want to your face, y'all. Just do whatever you want. But it was just wild, the piercings that they were getting. I remember she had Labray. And then, of course, that Monroe one here. And then the spider bites. People have the spider bites all the time. Like, even though, like, even when I see people later that had all those holes in their face, like, a lot of them don't heal. So you still have, like, these holes in your face. I'm like, please tell me, someone tell me that they had spider bites in here. Come on. What the heck? Spider bites, spider bites. But I mean, honestly, like, being like an emo kid and stuff, like, I always like lived like through people that had them. I always thought, wow, that looks like cool, you know. But I just like never had desire for it myself. Like, whatever. The nose is like as far as it goes for me. I pierced my own cartilage myself. That was the dumbest thing I could have probably ever done. And at one point I had second holes in my ear, but those are no longer there, which were also pierced by myself. Trying to hide those as a teenager was so hard. I was like, this isn't for me. And then I gauged my ears. My ears are gauged, but I don't ever wear like actual like gauges anymore. Like where it shows that they're gauges. That's as wild as it gets for me when it comes to like piercings. Like, yeah, that's it. I never even like gauged my ears to the size that I wanted, but I'm glad that I didn't because I do have little ears. And you need to start feeling better soon because obviously Warped Tour is coming up for you. So I can't remember if you said it was November or December. And back to a serious note. I really hope things get better. I know you said you're like feeling better than you were, which is important, but that can be a lot to balance. So make sure you just rest up. Your like world is making you rest so that the fun can be had soon and you can feel your best self while having fun. And I made pumpkin bread last week. I must have known. I will say RIP to the pumpkin bread because that did not last long. And I made homemade cream cheese frosting. Let me make sure I turn the oven off. What? So you got your septum pierced for nothing? Just kidding. I know you didn't, but what? Now you have to go get your septum pierced. Since you're not punk rock anymore, how are you going to feel punk rock? What? That's wild. Let me make sure the oven's off. A wedding? I would have never. Wow, I triple dog dare you to get a septum piercing now because you're not going. What? For a wedding? You have to show up at the wedding with the septum pierce. They're like, Maddie? And you're like, actually, I had to get this done because I'm missing Warped Tour for this shit. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let the love be all around that day. I would be a little salty. But obviously if it's someone that you like, you want to go to their wedding, so I get it. What? That means you're just gonna have to plan for another show. That's crazy. That lineup was insane. I actually just seen the lineup again like 2 days ago. And I was like, I couldn't remember if it was November or December. Insane. Wow, you've had an eventful, like, month-ish. But you're a Sag, so that means your birthday's soon-ish. It's kind of wild to think we're already in October, though. I, like, mentioned you in my live this morning. It was like, wherever Maddie is. Well, holy shit, you were dealing with a lot. Including wimping out, getting your septum pierced. And no longer going to Warped Tour. And essentially having like your ear plunged and brain plunged. Like, holy cow. Do they even have like a booster for shingles? Wild stuff. Honestly, let the worst be behind you now. And there's a full moon on Monday. Charge your crystals, buddy. Holy smokes. You better listen to 303 on the way to that wedding. Whoever will this be? No, sir. Almost that I'm done. Oh my gosh. I was thinking, when did I get my nose pierced? I literally, it was, wow, 2010. And then I got the other one 2011. That's like 14 years. That's insane. It's a long time. Hold on, BRB. be. Cupcakes are done. The kitchen's almost clean. The dogs have been fed. The list goes on, but I'll just hold that for a second. I think I finished all the ones. So I need to move on to the twos. Look at her trying to eavesdrop over here. Look at her. Like, nobody talking to you. Oh, I think it is. Oh, it totally is. Any guesses? That's who I've been waiting for. sir. Getting married. I actually don't know. I think I know, but I don't know.